Hi, so I'm studying for my CompTIA Security Plus exam, and I've already gotten the CompTIA A Plus 1001. This is the CompTIA Security Plus 601. And the way I understand it is that it's mostly going to be measuring me on my vocabulary. Or, at the very least, I believe that glossaries can be a shortcut to what they're actually wanting you to know. So, in this video I'm going to read the names of everything on this glossary. The 3DES, the Triple Data Encryption Standard. AAA, Authentication, Authorization, and Accounting. ABAC, Attribute-Based Access Control. ACL, Access Control List. AD, Active Directory. AES, Advanced Encryption Standard. AES 256, Advanced Encryption Standards 256-bit. AH, Authentication Header. AI, Artificial Intelligence. AIS, Automated Indicator Sharing. ALE, Annualized Loss Expectancy. AP, Access Point. API, Application Programming Interface. APT, Advanced Persistent Threat. ARO, Annualized Rate of Occurrence. ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. ASLR, Address Space Layout Randomization. Address Space Layout Randomization. ASP, Active Server Pages. ATT and CK, Adversarial Tactics, Techniques, and Common Knowledge. AUP, Acceptable Use Policy. AV, Antivirus. BASH, Born Again Shell. BCP, Business Continuity Planning. BGP, Border Gateway Protocol. BIA, Business Impact Analysis. BIOS, Basic Input-Output System. BPA, Business Partnership Agreement. BPDU, Bridge Protocol Data Unit. BSSID, Basic Service Set Identifier. BYOD, Bring Your Own Device. CA, Certificate Authority. CAP TCHA, Completely Automated Public Turing Test to tell computers and humans apart. CAR, Corrective Action Report. CASB, Cloud Access Security Broker. CBC, Cyber Blockchain. CBT, Computer-Based Training. CCMP, Counter Mode. CBC, Mac, Protocol. CCTV, Closed Circuit Television. CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team. CFB, Cipher Feedback. CHAP, Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. CIO, Chief Information Officer. CIRT, Computer Incident Response Team. CIS, Center for Internet Security. CMS, Content Management System. CN, Common Name. COOP, Continuity of Operations Planning. COPE, Corporate Owned Personally Enabled. CP, Contingency Planning. CRC, Cyclic Redundancy Check. CRL, Certificate Revocation List. CSA, Cloud Security Alliance. CSIRT, Computer Security Incident Response Team. CSO, Chief Security Officer. CSP, Cloud Service Provider. CSR, Certificate Signing Request. CSRF, Cross-Site Request Forgery. CSU, Channel Service Unit. CTM, Counter Mode. CTO, Chief Technology Officer. CVE, Common Vulnerabilities and Exposure. CVSS, Common Vulnerability Scoring System. CYOD, Choose Your Own Device. DAC, Discretionary Access Control. DBA, Database Administrator. So we have a CSO, Chief Security Officer, CTO, Chief Technology Officer, and a CIO, Chief Information Officer. DAC, Discretionary Access Control. DBA, Database Administrator. DDoS, DDoS, Distributed Denial of Service. DEP, Data Execution Prevention. DER, Distinguished Encoding Rules, DES, Data Encryption Standard, DHCP, Dynamic Host Control Protocol, DHE, Diffie-Hellman Ephemeral, DKIM, Domain Keys Identified Mail, DLL, Dynamic Link Library, Data Loss Prevention, DLP, DMARC, Domain Message Authentication Reporting and Conformance, DNAT, Destination Network Address Transaction, DNS, Domain Name System, DNS SEC, Domain Name System Security Extensions, DOS, Denial of Service, DPO, Data Protection Officer, DRP, Disaster Recovery Plan, DSA, Digital Signature Algorithm, DSL, Digital Subscriber Line, EAP, Extensible Authentication Protocol, ECB, Electronic Codebook, ECC, Elliptic Curve Cryptography, ECDHE, Elliptic Curve Diffie-Hellman Ephemeral, ECDSA, Elliptic Curve Digital Signature Algorithm, EDR, Endpoint Detection and Response, EFS, Encrypted File System, EIP, Extended Instruction Pointer, EOL, End of Life, EOS, End of Service, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, ESN, Electronic Serial Number, ESP, Encapsulating Security Payload, ESSID, Extended Service Set Identifier, FACL, File System Access Control List, ACL for the file system, FDE, Full Disk Encryption, FIM, File Integrity Monitoring, FPGA, Field Programmable Gate Array, FRR, False Rejection Rate, FTP, File Transfer Protocol, FTPS, File Transfer Protocol, Secure, GCM, GLOIS, Counter Mode, GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, GPG, GNU Privacy Guard, GPO, Group Policy Object, GPS, Global Positioning System, GPU, Graphics Processing Unit, GRE, Generic Routing Encapsulation, HA, High Availability, HDD, Hard Disk Drive, HIDS, Host-Based Intrusion Detection System, HIPS, Host-Based Intrusion Prevention System, HMAC, Hash-Based Message Authentication Code, HOTP, HMAC-Based One-Time Password, HSM, Hardware Security Module, HSMAAS, Hardware Security Module as a Service, HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, HVAC, HVAC, Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning, IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service, IAM, Identity and Access Management, ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol, ICS, Industrial Control Systems, IDEA, International Data Encryption Algorithm, IDF, Intermediate Distribution Frame, IDP, Identity Provider, IDS, Intrusion Detection System, of which there are host-based and network-based. IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, IKE, Internet Key Exchange, IM, Instant Messaging, IMAP4, Internet Message Access Protocol version 4, IOC, Indicators of Compromise, IoT, Internet of Things, IP, Internet Protocol, IPS, Intrusion Prevention System, Internet Protocol Security, IPSEC, IPS and IPsec are completely different. IPS is an intrusion prevention system, but an IPsec is an Internet Protocol security. An IR is an incident response. A IRC is a Internet Relay Chat. A IRP is an incident response plan. An ISA is a interconnection security agreement. A ISFW is an internal segmentation firewall. An ISO is the International Organization of Standardization. An ISP is an Internet Service Provider. An ISSO is an Information Systems Security Officer. A ITCP is an IT Contingency Plan. An IV is an Initialization Vector. A KDC is a Key Distribution Center. A KEK is a Key Encryption Key. A L2TP is a Layer 2 tunneling protocol. An LAN is a Local Area Network. An LDAP is a Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. A LEAP is a Lightweight Extension Authentication Protocol. MAAS is Monitoring as a Service. MAC is Media Access Control. MAM is Mobile Application Management. An MAN is a Metropolitan Area Network. The MBR is the Master Boot Record. MD5 means Message Digest 5. The MDF is a Main Distribution Frame. The MDM is the Mobile Device Management. A MFA is Multi-Factor Authentication. An MFD is Multifunction Device. An MFP is a Multifunction Printer. ML is Machine Learning. An MMS is the Multimedia Message Service. A MOA is a Memorandum of Agreement. An MOU is a Memorandum of Understanding. MPLS is the Multi-Protocol Label Switching. MSA is the Measurement Systems Analysis. MSCHAP is the Microsoft Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. The MSP is the Managed Service Provider. The MSSP is the Managed Security Service Provider. Whenever there's an extra S, it just means security. MTBF, Mean Time Between Failures. The MTTF is the Mean Time to Failure. MTTR is the Mean Time to Repair. The MTU is the Maximum Transmission Unit. The NAC is the Network Access Control. The NAS is the Network Attached Storage. The NAT is Network Address Translation. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. The NFCs are near-field communication, like when you pay with your credit card or your phone, or with your bus pass. The NFV is the Network Function Virtualization. The NGFW is a next-generation firewall. The NGSWG is the Next Generation Secure Web Gateway. The NIC is a Network Interface Card. An NIDS is a network-based intrusion detection system, and an NIPS is a network-based intrusion prevention system, so as opposed to a host-based intrusion detection and intrusion prevention system. A NIST is the National Institute of Standards and Technology. The NOC is the Network Operations Center. The NTFC is the New Technology File System. The NTLM is the New Technology Local Area Network Manager. The NTP is the Network Time Protocol. The OCSP is an Online Certificate Status Protocol. OID, Object Identifier, OS, Operating System. The OSI is the Open Systems Interconnection. And that's mostly the OSI model where you're going to hear that. The OSI-NT is Open Source Intelligence, OS-INT, Open Sourced Intelligence. The OSPF is the Open Shortest Path First Protocol. The OT is Operational Technology, but OTA is over the air. OTG is on the go. OVAL is the Open Vulnerability and Assessment Language. The OWASP, OWASP, is the Open Web Application Security Project. And they like to list all the kinds of attacks. P12 is the PKCS number 12. P2P means peer-to-peer. PaaS is a platform as a service. PAC is proxy auto configuration. PIM has two meanings. It can mean privileged access management or pluggable authentication modules. The PAP is the password authentication protocol, and the PAT is the port address translation. A PBKDF2 is a password-based key derivation function 2. PBX is private branch exchange, and a PCAP is a packet capture. That's what you get from Wireshark. That's the kind of file that it creates. So a PCI DSS is the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. The PDU is the Power Distribution Unit. The PE is a Portable Executable. A PEAP is a Protected Extensible Authentication Protocol. A PED is the Portable Electronic Device. PEM is Privacy Enhanced Mail. PFS is Perfect Forward Secrecy. PGP is pretty good privacy. PHI is Personal Health Information. PII is Personally Identifiable Information. The PIN is a Personal Identification Number. PIV is Personal Identity Verification. The PKCS, which was related to P12, the Public Key Cryptography Standard. PKI, Public Key Infrastructure. POC, Proof of Concept. POP, the Post Office Protocol. POTS, Plain Old Telephone Service. PPP, Point-to-Point Protocol. PPTP, Point-to-Point Tunneling Protocol. PSK, Pre-Shared Key. PTZ, Pan-Tilt-Zoom. PUP is Any Potentially Unwanted Program. QA is Quality Assurance, and QoS is Quality of Service. I guess I skipped around a little. A PUP is a Potentially Unwanted Program. The RA is a Registration Authority. The RID is a Rapid Application Development. The RADIUS, Radius, is a Remote Authentication Dial-In User Service. A RAID, a RAID, is a redundant array of inexpensive disks. You use it for backups. RAM is Random Access Memory. RAS is Remote Access Server. A RAT is the Remote Access Trojan. RC4 is Rivest Cipher version 4. RCS is Rich Communication Services. RFC means Request for Comments. RFID, Radio Frequency Identification. RAP-EMD, Race Integrity Primitives Evaluation Message Digest. ROI, Return on Investment. RPO is the Recovery Point Objective. An RSA is stands for Revest, Shamir, and Edelman, and it's a type of encryption. RTBH is the remotely triggered black hole. I don't know what that could possibly mean, but that sounds awesome. RTO is the recovery time objective. RTOS is unrelated. It's the real-time operating system. RTO is the recovery time objective. But the RTP is the real-time transport protocol. SMIME, S-M-I-M-E, Secure Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions. You can go to your email and set it to SMIME if you really want. SaaS, Software as a Service. SAE, Simultaneous Authentication of Equals. SAML is the Security Assertions Markup Language. SCADA is Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. The SCIP is Security Content Automation Protocol. The SCEP is the Simple Certificate Enrollment Protocol. An SDK is a software development kit, but the SDLC is the software development lifecycle. And SDLM is the software development lifecycle methodology. SDN is software defined networking. SDP is the service delivery platform. The SDV is a software defined visibility. SED is self-encrypting drives. SEH is structured exception handling. SFTP is the secure hash file transfer protocol. Let's see, does it say what SSH is? The secure shell, yeah. Yeah, SFTP is Secure Shell File Transfer Protocol. SHA is Secure Hashing Algorithm. SIEM is the Security Information and Event Management. SIM is a Subscriber Identity Module. And SIP is the Session Initiation Protocol. An SLA is a Service Level Agreement, and an SLE is a Single Loss Expectancy. SMB means Server Message Block, and didn't we see SMIME earlier? Secure Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions. SMS is Short Message Service. SMTP means Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. SMTPS means Secure Message Transfer Protocol, Secure. SNMP means Simple Network Management Protocol. SOAP means Secure Object Access Protocol. SOAR has nothing to do with SOAP. It means Security, Orchestration, Automation, and Response. An SOC with a lowercase o is a system on a chip, but an SOC with a capital O is a Security Operations Center. SPF, Sender Policy Framework. SPIM, Spam over Instant Messaging. The SQL is the Structured Query Language, and an SQLI is a SQL injection. The SRTP is the Secure Real-Time Transport Protocol. An SSD is a solid-state drive. SSH is Secure Shell. SSID is a Service Set Identifier, and an SSL is a Secure Sockets layer. The SSO is a Single Sign-On, and the STIX is a Structured Threat Information Expression. Shielded STP is a shielded twisted pair. A UTP is an unshielded twisted pair. They're both kinds of cables. A SWG is a secure web gateway, and a TAC ACS is a terminal access controller access control system. That was just the simplest way to think of it. A TAXII is the trusted automated exchange of intelligence information. The TCP/IP is the transmission control protocol or the internet protocol. A TGT is a ticket granting ticket. A TKIP is the temporal key integrity protocol. TLS is transport layer security. And TOTP is a time-based one-time password. That means it'll expire. TPM is a trusted platform module, and a TSIG is a transaction signature. TTP stands for Tactics, Techniques, and Procedures. UAT is User Acceptance Testing. UDP is the User Datagram Protocol. UDP and TCP are somewhat similar. You'll hear them in the same context. The UEBA is the User and Entity Behavior Analytics. The UEFI is the Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. The UEM is the Unified Endpoint Management, and a UPS is an uninterruptible power supply. A URI is a Uniform Resource Locator. A URL is a Uniform Resource Identifier. A URL is a Universal Resource Locator. Uniform, universal, and completely unrelated to a URL, a USB is a Universal Serial Bus. A USB OTG means USB on the go. A UTM is a Unified Threat Management. UTP is the unshielded twisted pair, as opposed to the shielded twisted pair. VBA is the Visual Basic for applications, and I think that's a software. VDE is a virtual desktop environment. You can put that on your virtual machine. A VDI is a virtual desktop infrastructure. A VLAN is the virtual local area network, and a VLSM has not anything to do with a virtual machine. A VLSM is a variable length subnet masking, but a VM is a virtual machine. VoIP is voice over IP, and VPC is virtual private cloud. A VPN is virtual private network. VTC is video teleconferencing. That's what we've all been doing on Zoom the last couple of years. WAF, Web Application Firewall. WAP, that's a WAP, Wireless Access Point. WEP, Wired Equivalent Privacy. WIDS, Wireless Intrusion Detection System. We have network-based intrusion detection system, we have host-based intrusion detection system, and we have wireless. And then we have WIPS, which is a wireless intrusion prevention system. WORM, WORM, write once, read memory. Read many. That means you don't have write access, you only have read privilege. WPA is Wi-Fi protected access. WPS is Wi-Fi protected setup. XAAS is anything as a service. XML is the extensible markup language. XOR is exclusive OR, and that's part of programming. That's a weird thing to include in here. The XSRF is cross-site request forgery, and I think we also had that as CSRF, and XSS is cross-site scripting. So yeah, now just to find out what all that means, and you'll have a good chance of passing the certification test after you pay $300 to attempt it.